Hello. So, a while back I got into a conversation with someone about what makes a good password and how you can create a good password. Most people select really, really bad passwords because they're, in a lot of cases, not taught how to create a good one. We're giving these parameters on some websites. You have to have an upper and lower case. You have to have numbers and symbols in them. But we end up creating really off-the-wall passwords that really just don't make sense to us, and they're hard to remember, so people write them down all over the place, stick them on monitors and keyboards, and just don't know what makes a good password. Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, this is a website that has the 100 most common passwords of 2022, and you can see here are some of these common passwords. There's two things that make a good strong password. One is the randomness of the password, and the second is the length. I'm going to take you to this website called Password Monster. Password Monster will you can enter a password, and it'll show you how strong the password is. You don't have to use Password Monster. There are dozens of these out there on the internet. Just go to your favorite search engine, type in password test or something along those lines, and you'll get any one of these sites. So I'm going to take the one of the common passwords we had here in that most common password website. So there's I love you. It contains 8 characters, all lowercase, and again, most password crackers can break that in this case 0 seconds. Let's take this password, that's I love you, and we'll change this using some of the techniques that a lot of websites have us do. We'll add upper and lower case into it, some numbers and some symbols, and I'll show you because of the length, it's still not very good. So that's capital I. So we have capital I, and everything else is lowercase. We go from 0 seconds to 0.01 seconds. Again, not very difficult. Couple uppercase characters. So let's add a number in there, and 0.03 seconds. Wow, let's add a symbol here. Oh, we're up to 3 seconds here. Again, it's just not very difficult. It's too short. Ideally, you want a password that's about 15 characters long. And you're sitting here going, oh, come on, Bill, 15 characters? Who wants to memorize that? It's very easy to create a password that's 15 characters long, that's very, very difficult to break, but extremely easy to remember. That's because you have to get rid of the word password. Think of it as a pass sentence. A lot of our more modern websites out there will let you type in really long passwords, 20 or 30 or 40 characters long. And the only problem you run into with a sentence is some of them don't allow spaces and some do. Most will, at least in my experience, most allow spaces. So let's create this I love you and change it up a little bit to a full sentence. I love you. Now we're up to an hour. 11 characters. Again, remember I said 15 characters. So wow. How about that? 21 characters. I can remember that password all day long, and it will take a password cracker about 2,000 years to crack this password. Some of these password requirements require to have numbers in there. So again, we can change this to my 15-year-old dog. That's going to be very, very difficult to break, but it's a very long password, 26 characters. And again, some websites won't allow you to use spaces, but again, this is long enough where if we take out the spaces, you're still going to see this is going to take a very long time to break. 809 years. Again, that's just a fantastic password. And it's easy to remember, and I'm going to remember this for a long time. So you don't have to use these sentences. There are other things you can use out there on the internet. You can come out and use this these password generators. This was from Norton. There are others. Again, you can just go to your favorite search engine, type in password generator, and it'll take you to several. I just picked one of the first ones in Google, and I type that in. You can come in here and you can tell it if you want letters, numbers, punctuation, and it'll give you different passwords. You can copy that password. Let's see how strong this one is. Again, that's a very, very strong password. My problem is I can't remember that. I'd have a hard time typing that. So, do you want to remember this or... And that is actually true. My first car was a 76 Ford. You want to remember that or that. The other way of doing this is to use a password manager. Again, go to your favorite search engine, type in password manager, and you're going to get several recommendations. These are 4 or 5 different recommendations from this site. Again, just find one you're comfortable with. When you're looking at a password manager, keep in mind a couple of different things. You want it compatible with your browsers you use. So you might want to make sure that when you're out there searching, hey, if you use Firefox, make sure there's a Firefox plugin. If you use Chrome, make sure there's a Chrome plugin. If you use whatever website, whatever browser you're using, Safari, etc., you want to make sure there's a plugin for it. Make sure it's usable across platforms. If you have a PC, make sure you can use it on your Windows PC. Make sure you can use it on your phones. How about your tablets? Make sure it's works cross-platform. If it doesn't work cross-platform, it'll be great if you use it on your Windows machine. But when you have your phone, how are you going to remember your passwords? So again, you want that cross-platform compatibility, and many of these do have cross-platform compatibility, and some of these have built-in password generators with them. So tell it you need a new password for a website, and it'll just generate it automatically. So again, let's go back to what we discussed. Password strength. You want 15 characters or longer, and you want it random. So again, if you get rid of the word password and start using past sentences, you're going to be able to create 15 character passwords really quickly, and they're going to be very, very strong. You can add numbers and special characters in there. You've got to remember, if you're using a sentence, you're already using upper and lowercase letters. Past sentences, password generators, password managers. Remember, the password managers, you want them to work across platforms, on the browsers you use, on the operating systems you use, along with your phones and tablets.